BBC News with Marion Marshall. The Democratic presidential frontrunner Joe Biden has accused Donald Trump of an overwhelming abuse of power over reports that the president tried to put pressure on Ukraine to launch a corruption investigation against him. Mr. Trump insists his phone call with Ukraine's president was routine. The United Nations envoy for Yemen has welcomed an offer by Houthi rebels to halt attacks on Saudi Arabia in return for an end to the Saudi-led bombing campaign. The Saudi government has given a guarded response, saying it would judge other parties by their actions. There have been protests in Rio de Janeiro after Brazilian police shot dead an 8-year-old girl in a poor neighbourhood, the 5th child they've killed in Rio this month. Local media said she'd been in a van with her grandfather when the police targeted a motorbike rider nearby. Security forces in Egypt have been deployed around Tahrir Square in Cairo after rare protests on Friday night against President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. During his rule, the right to hold protests has been severely restricted and thousands of activists have been arrested. Several thousand people have protested outside Parliament in Switzerland against the rollout of 5G, the next generation of wireless technology. Critics of 5G say it poses a radiological health and environmental risk compared with the systems currently in use. Colombia has dismissed allegations in the Venezuelan media that one of its military aircraft has been spying in Venezuelan territory. Diplomatic relations between Colombia and Venezuela were broken off last February. Somali pirates have released an Iranian sailor held captive since 2015. Reports say Muhammad Sharif Panahandeh was in need of urgent medical care. Maritime hijacking off the Somali coast peaked in 2011 and has subsided dramatically. That's the latest BBC News and the last from me. Thank you for listening.
We end the programme with a fond farewell to a familiar voice here on the BBC World Service. In the past hour, one of our longest-serving newsreaders, Marion Marshall, hung up her headphones and read her last bulletin for the BBC. In one of our earlier programmes, my colleague Emilio Sampedro paid tribute.
Marion will be stepping away from the microphone for the last time as an official BBC newsreader after 39 years with the BBC, of which 32 has been here with us on the BBC World Service. And this is the last time we'll be hearing you on the Newsroom programme, Marion.
It is, Emilio, yes.
It's
right.
Just wanted to say it's been a real pleasure to have you, to have been a listener of yours and a colleague, more importantly, Marion, and also these fun moments we share in the studio in between all these items, preparing and all the crazy things that happen in here, which one day you can write in your memoirs.
Yeah, write a book about it, yeah.
But I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of all of us who work on the Newsroom programme and here at the BBC World Service, and of course, on behalf of all the listeners who relied on you to keep them up to date on the world news, something which you've done brilliantly through the years, and thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a lovely thing to say. Thank you.
So, Marion, what are your plans? Put you on the spot.
Oh, well, I'm going to leave where I live in the southeast of England and move to the southwest of the country where my family comes from. All pirates and smugglers.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the listeners as we've got a little bit of time before the
keep
program
listening.
wraps up?
Keep listening to the World Service, which is there to assure you of what's happening everywhere around the globe and here at home as well.